Thank you, thank you. So, hello, all beautiful and amazing cybersecurity enthusiasts. Today we will be talking about AI. AI that is deployed locally at your home, subscriptionless, and very discreet. So we were already introduced. Let's just say that we spend a lot of time in cybersecurity. And what was our motivation? Before the area of ChatGPT being very popular started, we already knew that there will be issues with privacy, money, and risks. So at the end of this way, the main issue will be, of course, idiocracy, because the AI will start to replacing us in many tasks. So Chatfield, who has an excellent surname for this quotation, was very correct, is very correct. Currently, we, for some reason, we don't have any issues in pushing our production data into the chat in order to have better responses for our emails, looking in the tables for production data, IP ranges, whatever. For some reason, we have issue with Facebook. That's interesting. But with privacy, we have also this issue of data, our production data being uploaded to the servers that we don't have control. If we are very efficient penetration testers, whoever owns the system where the inference is being actually done, they will see, know, and store everything. So there are even other more invasive ideas, like recording everything you say, everything you do during the day, and they make from this a searchable database. So you can always ask what it was said with the colleagues several hours ago. But think about all this information being stored by the provider of such service. Also, there will be even more difficult after some time with anything we will prepare, anything we will do with AI. Any part of it might be very difficult to remove the watermarking that will be implemented very soon, and they will be very aggressive. Also, political correctness, the topic we all love. So here you have an example of Bart not answering our question because it is for some reason immoral to write a letter for us. We have ChatGPT in the newest version that will not answer a simple question, and we have a home-based solution that has no issue in providing us with very accurate medical information. So the costs, these are changing so fast that this is even really difficult to track. This is probably outdated because this has like several days. This is constantly changing. If you want to do your business using OpenAI API, you will have a lot of problems in the future because for now the prices can be acceptable, but after some time you may have some risks involved. Perhaps the type of data you are dealing with will no longer be in line with the policy of OpenAI, or the type of data you are working with will be something very specific, and for this exact service, this exact answer, you will need to pay additionally. So obviously there are problems with the infrastructure that you don't control. So it might be offline. There might be some limits implemented during some changes. There can be also issue with the law. Remember about the Italy. The Italy already banned ChatGPT. Germany are considering it. So if the Germany and France decide to look for something domestic, the rest will follow. And historically, European Union usually bans things. Yeah, so this will be the main risk, and there is something else. There is elephant in the room that is that nobody is taking into consideration. So responsible AI. This is not only the most nightmarish idea you can have. It is also difficult. So they want to spend additional resources and time to lie to you or give you distorted information. Also, this is very time consuming to fine tune a model in order to make it still being able to provide you with high accuracy answers, but at the same time politically correct. This is very difficult to make a model don't give you the answer that it already knows. So this has to be solved a little bit differently, and this is always reflecting the accuracy, the quality of the answer. So with these models, we will be focusing on generative AI, which is something that is the best known currently, and LLMs, Bloom, GPT-3. These are the models we were testing. These models you can test online. Types of transformers. The most important thing that you need to remember are transformers. This is the current standard. It won't be for long, but this is the network layer that is that has something that you need to read about. It's attention. Attention is all you need. This is a paper from 2017. So this is about the transformers. The two remaining are a little bit older. We don't have time to discuss them, but this should illustrate how massive the research is in AIs. You have plenty of models. My colleague will be talking about Hugging Face, so you will know from where to get them and how to test them. This is the visualization of these models, how large they are. Of course, this is inaccurate because of many reasons. For example, GPT-4 at the time was not publicly saying how much parameters they have, but overall you can see how many trees of AIs there is there. So you can test them all, most of them. In order to create your model, you need to spend a lot of money. So you have pre-training. Pre-training is the most expensive part of it. You have fine-tuning. Fine-tuning you can do within your own environment with the equipment that you can afford. We are talking about several RTX 3090, for example, and you have also in-context learning. So you are showing several examples to AI in order to have better quality responses for your specific task. Yes, so pre-training is also extremely difficult due to the high quality of data. This was the topic that was discussed today about the poisoning of data. This is one of the attacks for the AI models. The data, the base data for the model, they are publicly available. You can make your model if you have enough cash for cloud services, but they need to be perfect. Anything that is incorrect with the data set will replicate later on and reflect on the overall quality of the responses. For this, unfortunately, we don't have time. All this presentation will be available for you afterwards. This was designed to be a little bit longer talk. Yes, we have about fine-tuning and in-context learning. So what are transformers? Transformers, the thing that you need to know is that the transformers are very similar to the original artificial intelligence, all these layers. So you have encoder, you have hidden layers, you have decoder. However, the main difference with transformers and the success of this solution is about making a correlation between the words being part of the sentence itself. This, but not only this. And the transformers, from the technical standpoint and the hardware requirement, etc., can be analyzed in the very traditional manner, but they just work a little bit differently with much better quality of the responses. So when you are running your AI, you need to know that this doesn't work. So the first token is the most important one. Every next token is calculated based on the previous tokens. So this is the reason why, if you want to force the model to answer you in the particular way, you can force it to have the first token like yes, of course, or no. So the AI will take this first answer, and the inference of every other layer will be and in each iteration will be dependent on this first tokens. So if you will say yes, of course, then the model will look for the answer that will be aligned with yes, of course. If it will be something negative, the same will follow. So we need a lot of memory. One of the solutions for networking all this equipment is Pentals. So this is awesome project. You need to try it. If you don't have enough equipment, then you can run part of the network on your equipment, and as much as you can, as you are giving the computational power into the network, you are getting then more like credits, and the responses for your questions will be treated with higher priority. So other people will be working with their equipment for your answer. This doesn't work with every model. Next solution that might be really really good for the final answer, for the final project, for the final program that you are getting ready to run from the AIs. It's a conversation between the models. You have several frameworks. You can research them. You have several frameworks where you can start several models. For example, dedicated for programming, like Wizard Coder, Star Coder, etc., Samantha, and other AIs that will be overseeing the entire process. So they will be chatting between each other like real employees. There is also a nice idea of tree of thoughts. So the AI will be looking for the best way to solve your issue with several iterations, and it will be choosing the best one. This is very similar to the old chess gaming programs, where all the moves were just getting points, and based on these points, the next move was predicted. So some of us know a little bit about hallucinations. There are a lot of memes related to AI hallucinations. Why it is happening? There are several reasons. The most important thing from these reasons is that the AI is really uncertain about the context it is giving you back. It doesn't really understand a lot of things. It just try to mimic the proper answer. So if you will a little bit mislead the prompts, you will get really funny answers. Poke around it, try it. You can also make this mistake of overfitting. So if you are really pushing the AI to be perfect in the answers based on the data that you are pushing during the pre-training, this model will be not able to go somewhere else from these boundaries of the data you were giving it. So I've made a little experiment. This is for GPT-4, the newest version. I ask for a very simple and well-documented issue for Commodore 64 from 1982. This should be very easy. Unfortunately, all the programmers already can see some issues with it, and this is the problem. The most important problem from all of this is that in this program there is not even the function that it calls that's supposed to work and give us the proper output. How to prevent hallucinations? I would say at the end of the day, this is about the operator, the way of prompting the AI model, and the way of giving the context from the, for example, from retrieval augmented generation process. Hardware. We had to have something to test all of this. I started from inference on CPU. So I used i5. This supposed to be a good idea. I bought the fastest M2 drive on the market, 5 terabytes gigabytes per second. Unfortunately, it was generating around 1 word per 45 minutes. So there is CPUs are still not up to the task, let's just say. And they are not up to the task because of the memory bandwidth. If you are talking AI, you are talking about large matrix, like huge matrix. And the great example is RTX 4090, which is a flagship NVIDIA graphic card. And the memory bandwidth between the GPU and the memory is 1 terabyte per second. This works. This is another example of layers. On the left, you can see that this network layer doesn't have a lot of data to propagate to the next layer. This is a good AI model to chunk into the parts on your equipment. So you have half on one your CUDA card and the second part on the other. So our first approach was to get RTX 4090 and the best Ryzen available on the market. This was an extremely expensive solution, and it came out that the AMD doesn't actually support very well the Python-related libraries to AI, so it was really inefficient. The second approach was to have 2 RTXs in one system along with Intel processor. This was the best solution. And one more solution we had, I have several of these Teslas. All of these have 24 gigabytes of VRAM, which is very good for testing. and we were pushing it into the workstations because this is a server type graphic card. It had to be water cooled, so this was the GPU. This is thermopad, water block, and the power section is cooled separately. I did it for remaining 4 cards, so yes. The summary of it is that the option with Intel processor and 2 physical CUDA card is the best.
Is it working? Hello? Okay, great. So if you build your own setup, then you need to write something down, software or application that you will need to test it. I will show you a little bit, because we do not have much time, where can you get the models, how you can build a simple flow, how you can do the tests. Okay, and I encourage you to do it. The most popular web page when you can find hundreds of models is Hugging Face, models, data set, everything you need to have for your own version of AI locally. There are lots of models. I will tell you what those symbols mean in a second. You can choose one, download it, see how it works. Every model has its own web page. There are different information about this model, name, what was taken from. Sometimes you have also API already with the text box. So not every model has this, but you can test it and see how it responds on your questions. Git repository for the models. There is also information how to use the models. Sometimes there are Python scripts how to use it, settings, and there is also a templates. We have no time to discuss about the templates, but also with the template you can modify the behavior of your local model. Yeah, more information about the model. Everything is on the web page. You can check for yourself. In general, every model has its name in this kind of schema. First is someone that is publishing the model. Here is the blog. It's very popular with a lot of interesting model. Next, there is a model name. Here we have a Mistral. 7b is size of the model. It's a number of parameters that model was trained. Here is 7 billions. And then it's some string information, and normally at the end there is information what type of inside, how the model is built inside. So here's like type of Hugging Face or GGUF. There are a few more, right? We have GML, GGF, GPTQ. Some of them are more optimized for CUDA, like NVIDIA graphic cards. Some of them are more optimized for CPU if you must use it. But most of them has both versions, so you can just look for them and download it. The most important part of the setup that we built and we use it is something called retriever augmented generation. In general, it's making the quality of response more accurate by providing some information to the LLM. Yes, so here is the flow. So for example, if you have a book and you ask about the book, the AI doesn't know about the book, but you can make it to read the book and then answer the questions based what it read. Of course, it doesn't work like this. So we do not train the LLM about the book, but we provide the information, and based on the information the LLM can answer. So here is the simple flow. We have a document, text, whatever we want. We need to split it and add to vector storage, vector database. Then we provide the question, and based on this, using the data from the vector and based on the question, the LLVM will produce the answer. I will also give you an example a little later how does it work. Simple workflow contain 5 different elements like tokenizer model, embeddings, pipeline, retrieval. I won't tell you more about them. It's easy to implement. You can read because we do not have a time. A tokenizer is just taking the input for a model and split to tokens in general, right? So we need to first split to the token. Then there is a model. Depends what you choose. For every model, there is a Python library that you can use. Most of the libraries are very universal, so it's much easier to use for different types of the model. Pipeline is something that puts everything together and create this flow that I showed you. And there's also embeddings. Embeddings, these are also a model that provides this input for a data, for our LLM based on the database. There is a web page with our this is a repository that contains our script. There is version 2 of some of our product that we call ChatNMI. You can download it and see. Version 2 was created because between this presentation and when we wrote it, they changed the APIs. Everything is so fast that during 3 months they changed API, they changed the format of the models. We need to rewrite it, so it was much easier to write it from the scratch than fixing the old scripts. So the speed of community and development, all the things around LLM, is really fast recently. To play with this LLM models and start something, we create simple script. It's called simple workflow. I will show you how it works. It's just one file that will help you to understand. Okay, so first what we need to do, you want to do is load the text. Here I use example War and Peace, probably you know the book. So we are loading the book, we are reading the PDF, we are splitting the text for chunks, right? As you can see on the right of the screen, this process requires mainly CPU. Okay, next what we need to do is to build database based on those text chunks that we just created. And as you can see, there is a GPU CUDA usage and there is GPU memory. So it doesn't require much memory, but it requires a lot of computation on GPU, right? Almost 100% of the card was used during the creating this database. This database needs to be created once, right? So it doesn't need to be each time created, but once, and then you can ask different questions. Then we need to load the model. Here the model was called Vicuña 13B. It was optimized for drivers, for graphic cards. As you can see, the moment that we loaded didn't require any CUDA, but it's increased significantly the memory usage of graphic cards, right? The square below. Then you just need to create the query and run for the answer. Sorry, so here, wrong button. So we here creating the pipeline for asking the questions, right? So everything when it's done, there is a method called QA and just run the query, right? The query is, tell me the story of Pierre, whoever Pierre is from the book. Honestly, I never read the book, I just know it. So as you can see, during the execution, the memory again increased. And there was no much usage of GPU CUDA as when the database was created, but it also runs significantly on your GPU. And then we are printing the results. We can also print the sources. Of course, right now the sources is just one book, so it will always be the same source. here is the interesting example of the experiment that I did. The question is a little different. So I asked, describe the story of Pierre. And these are 3 different models that were answered based on the same book, but different models and with different sizes. As you can see, the bigger model was, the answer is, it's bigger, right? It's much more descriptive. And of course, it requires more resources and more time to create this answer. That's why it's also important to experiment with the model and see what you are expecting from it. There are some other open source projects that you can experiment. Most of them do not contain this method for keeping the text file, PDF files, whatever. However, they allows you to test different models just asking the simple questions. So you can also go through them, check. They allows you to set up different parameters because you also can change different parameters of the model, tune it with the parameters, etc., etc. So there is a large of options, different solutions. So I encourage you to check some of them. I won't be describing them, so there is no much time. Thank you. So before we go for a questions and answer, we have one more thing extra to show you that we did locally on our setup.
Yes, so I wanted to just show you what is the difference between anything that you get online versus what you can do at home without any restrictions, subscriptions, and in general policy of usage. So I use several AI models. Everything was done over the Stable Diffusion web UI. I made a dedicated model to generate people in this jacket, cyberpunk jacket. So you have first red flag that it won't be allowed in any kind of online service. The second was obviously actress. So I generated a picture of female in this jacket, but on top of it, I replaced the mask with the dedicated model for her face. So at the end of this exercise, I got this picture of this actress wearing cyberpunk jacket. So this is absolutely no go for any online service. Another example, I recently created with new functionality in OpenAI Commodore 64 Expert. So the limits in this system are that you can upload maximum 10 files, and in each file you can have maximum 2 million of characters. So this was very limiting, and only 50 books I was able to squeeze after cleaning all the text from not context-related stuff. And this is available, you can check it, but with our solution, without any limitations, we are using a database created from books of 380 books. So you can compare the quality of answer between OpenAI limitations and what you can have at home. If you are asking for specific voltages on specific parts of the main board between different versions, this model will not answer it because it doesn't have proper books. It does have limits. Always there are limits, and we don't like limits. Thank you.
Before you ask the questions, you need to answer from what movie this screen is.
I didn't understand that, sorry.
You need to answer this screen what movie it is.
What?
Movie. Like it's from movie. Would you like to know more?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. I'm listening to your question.
So I saw that you can integrate an AI with Burp Suite.
No, we do not integrate. It was just shown that there is a plugin to integrate Barb Suite with
It's already done.
with ChatGPT, and that's we are saying like, okay, you are against just leaving a photo, but you are integrated Barb plugin that sends everything you are testing to OpenAI, and then you are fine with that, and you don't have a problem with privacy, right? That there is this plugin that sends, and no one is asking, okay, maybe I shouldn't send everything I'm doing internally to ChatGPT.
Exactly, but it's possible to integrate a malicious AI with a vulnerability scanner and make it attack.
Yes, of course, but you need to start from making its own at home. Like there's no bad and good AIs. There are better, good.
They're different. They're the training that the information it receives and what it has to do. Something like that.
Yes, but at home, again, everything used online, everything that will have a policy of usage or anything, or even ChatGPT, if you were ever asking it for specifically cybersecurity related things, it usually doesn't want to answer it.
Because it can be used maliciously.
Exactly. So, you know, censorship, again.
Yeah. But at home, you can make an AI that can hack anything, given
No,
enough time.
this is not about hacking. A little bit with these tokens that are forcing the rest of the answer. But there are two types of models that Marek was talking about from the Hugging phase. There are models that are censored and uncensored. So you are interested in uncensored models, obviously.
Obviously. Okay, that's it for me. Thank you for your answers.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. So NMI was just another LLM, or what are the other LLMs that you played with? And what are the 3 challenges for running this at home, besides storage and maybe CPU?
So if I understand correctly, there was a question about hardware requirements, what kind of models we were testing, and?
If the NMI was another LLM or...
No. This is because creating LLM from scratch is extremely expensive. This is millions of dollars. So we are using publicly available AI models. We were testing a lot of them. I will not say everything from the head, but this was GPT-O, Neox 20B, this was GPT-2, all kinds, Mistrals, Orca, Llama, Wizard Coder, Star Coder, Samantha, Alpaca, a lot of them. And the last question?
the challenges on running on
Challenges on running. Always equipment, obviously. We want our answers to be provided really fast. Also, when we are putting together our workstations in order to run the models, to make them talk between each other, sometimes one machine is lagging. Sometimes there are problems in the memory. We always need to use the CUDA cards with at least 24 gigabytes of VRAM, because this you can use a little bit compressed model. Compressed let's say that they are compressed, as Marek said. But the longer you are using them, or the amount of tokens on the encoder and decoder is mounting during the usage, the memory usage is also rising. You have several things to deal with. You need to have a model for vector database. This is also running in CUDA. You need to have a dedicated models to deal with foreign languages if you are dealing with foreign documents. So all of this is required before you will even run your main model as a processor for all this as unstructured data. So a lot of time, a lot of equipment, and a lot of electricity.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.